So, you want to be a vocal dynamo? Let's talk. As a voice actor training expert and coach, I create vocal dynamos, and I'm thrilled to be here. So raise your hand if you have ever taken any training on a microphone. Anyone? Interesting. Not surprising. And how many here have actually ever secretly in the bathroom pretended to be a cartoon voice or a video game character? Anyone? Raise your hand. Yes, you've heard those cartoon voices and corporate videos and commercials, that kind of thing. And it's voice acting, which is a niche area of acting that I have had the honor and privilege of doing for over 35 years. You see, you may not recognize my face, but it's very likely and possible you've heard my voice. Thank you for calling PC MasterCard. Thank you for calling PC Optimum. Thank you for calling Canada Post. For service in English, press 1. Sound familiar? That's me. Almost every Canadian has very likely heard my voice in Canada's second largest telecommunications phone system, and many other telephone systems all over North America, Barbados, Bermuda, and even in Brazil. My passions are voice acting and voiceover, but I also love training and coaching voice actors and executive speakers. And today, I'm going to share with you how you can own your voice and become a voice actor with the 5-step voice process by Vocal Dynamo. When I tell people what I do, the inevitable question is, how did you get into that? I went back to school in my mid-20s on a trip to BC. I ended up there on a lark, not knowing what I was going to do. And I enrolled in the BC Institute of Technology's radio broadcast course and ended up with a diploma. The school didn't ask back then whether or not you're suited to the business. But nowadays, I get lots of people coming to me and saying, I've been told I have a great voice. You know, maybe I should become a voice actor. Not unless you're suited to it. So how do you know if you have what it takes to be a voice actor? Well, I have a survey, and some of the things you need to think about first include, are you an entrepreneur? Are you directable? Do you handle rejection well, like water off a duck's back? Or does it bother you? If you want to take the survey, go to vocaldynamo.com. I'll send you your results with the free ebook survey report when you send me your answers. After school, my first couple of jobs were in radio stations in Castlegar and Kelowna, BC on AM and FM radio. And then I came back in the mid-'80s to be the traffic commentator on CBC radio in Ottawa for about 5 years. While there, I found a great talent agent who would get me voice acting gigs, doing commercials and corporate videos and marketing information. And it was the days when VHS became very, very popular. Remember, MP3s hadn't yet been invented. VHS videos were also becoming popular for computer-based training courses. Remember those? For saving your document, move your mouse over here and click. After radio, I worked in marketing for a paging and message company. Remember those? Show of hands? Probably not, you're all too young. Voicemail arrived in 1989, and this company became one of the first in Ottawa, if not Canada, in fact, to adopt it. And I read clients' voice mailbox messages. Thank you for calling. We are not available to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone. The early 90s was also the beginning of IVR, interactive voice response. And they're the ones where you say, thank you for calling such and such. Please press 1 for sales, press 2 for service. Because I'd been a radio announcer, I was referred to a local on-hold marketing company while at the message company. I auditioned, and the owner told me, yeah, you'll do. We'll go week to week and see what happens. They would get the customers, send them the equipment, and I would be reading the professional-sounding greeting for on hold. I'm still working for that same company today, and we're still going week to week, and it's all these years later. In 1996, I had broken my nose 2 days before an audition for Canada's second-largest telecommunications company. It's a good thing they didn't have to see me, because just hear me. So I auditioned, apparently with 50 others, and the company selected 2 voice auditions and presented them before a focus group. And guess who won? Me. Then several years later, as technology advanced, this company updated their IVR system. They added profiles and gave me resumes and a script to read in characters. Melanie, who was in her early 30s, fun-loving, lighthearted, and then Susan, whose husband was an architect, and she ran an antique store. Much more serious, but classy. Whatever I did seemed to work, as I landed both gigs and have been their telephony voice almost ever since. But for the longest time, I knew I wanted to get into the training business. I wanted to help people become better at what they do. In 2000, I took an instructor certification training course that gave me a certificate. And a while later, I was able to find a job as a security guard trainer and private investigation trainer. And I loved it because it gave newcomers purpose. It gave them jobs after just coming to Canada. Then in 2007, I bumped into a family friend who said to me, Shelley, I have a speaking problem, and I really need your help because I'm going on a book tour to promote my book. Do you think you can help me become less nasal? We worked together for about 6 weeks, 2 hours a week, and after doing the work I suggested, he sounded amazing, awesome. It's magical to watch the transformation of people when they own their voice. It can mean more confidence and courage and be life-changing for some. In fact, when you own your voice, you speak in a richer, more powerful, confident tone. He told me just before we ended our sessions that our work together had helped position him to be appointed as a provincial superior court judge. I was honored. So the moral of the story is, come and see me if you want to gain more courage. If you've been silent, you'll speak up with confidence. In my course, Becoming a Voice Actor, the Vocal Dynamo 5-step voice process will help voice actors define their vision. They'll get an overview of the business, in-studio practice and feedback each week. You'll learn to connect with your audience and with your clients and communicate with them and where to find the work. Either way, my training and coaching programs get you results, so you too can own your voice and become a vocal dynamo. Thank you.